Since passage of the Clean Air Act in 1970, emission reductions have led to life-saving improvements in the quality of the air we breathe. Between 1970 and 2017, emissions of major air pollutants fell 73%, while the country's gross domestic product grew 324%, according to the Environmental Protection Agency.
Before 1970, our air quality in the United States was getting really bad. One example is the West Coast. You could barely see through that skyline in Los Angeles. And then the Clean Air Act of 1970 came along and really took down a lot of the pollutants that were being released into the air from our factories and from car exhaust and cleaned up the air quality across the United States.
But a report released this year by the American Lung Association warns that air pollution is slowly ticking back up. Experts with nonprofit Climate Central say climate change plays a role.
One of the concerns, knowing that our world is warming, is that we're seeing higher temperatures. And on those high temperature days, there is a strong correlation with stagnant air. So what that means is when we tend to have warmer days, our air is not really refreshing itself as much, and so you're staying in that soupy pollutant mix. So that is one correlation we're seeing between a warming world and our air quality.
A main culprit is increasing ground level ozone.
People get a little confused. Ozone up high is very good, but ground level ozone is not good for our health. Ground level ozone forms from a chemical reaction. It includes pollutants that are released from car exhaust and factories, and then they combine with heat and sunlight to create this ground level ozone. And it's this soupy mix that's really bad for our air quality. And we're seeing some of these ground level ozone days with high levels spike across the United States right now.
California has some of the nation's worst air quality, compounded greatly by an increase in wildfires, which produce particulate matter particles of 2.5 micrometers. PM 2.5 particles are 1/30th the width of a human hair, but can pose a serious health risk if inhaled.
And this particulate matter at 2.5 level starts to spike, especially around some of our big wildfires that we're having. And even though our air is cleaner overall, during these big wildfires, we're seeing air quality that rivals some of the worst days that we see in China.
Regulation has been key in improving air quality. The Clean Air Act of 1970 has proven for almost half a century to be environmentally effective.
We've seen through the Clean Air Act of 1970 what we can do to clean up our air. And now that we know more about what's happening in our air right now, with all the pollutants that we're putting out into the air, we have to make sure we keep cleaning our air as we go forward.